people, what's going on? Hope you're doing amazingly well. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new to this channel. It would be amazing if you could subscribe, like, comment, do all the things you know that you need to do. And without further ado, let's get into today's video. So today we are doing a Valentine's makeup tutorial with one of my new palettes that I got from the, whatchamacallit, one of my last ones, the big Heart Revolution chocolate palette. And this one is Berry Meringue. Let's take a quick look at the colours in here. As you can see, we've got some really pretty colours in here that's just perfect for Valentine's Day. And I also thought it'd be nice to actually have a chat about Valentine's, my personal experiences with it, but then also have a bit of self-love into it as well. So I'll also be answering some questions throughout the whole thing, just to make it a bit more interesting, get to know a bit more about me. And yeah, I think we should get on with the video and let's see what we can come up with. So normally I'm not a pink person, as many of you guys will know, but I've actually incorporated pink quite a lot recently, which is really weird for me, but I reckon we should just get into it and let's start as we mean to go on. I think I'll go in with this whip shade here and then just put that all over my base just to get a nice little start off. I can't believe actually we're nearly at mid-February. It's crazy. January actually went quite quickly, which is jolly good because it's just a really hard time. Everybody's just trying to get through it and you get all the winter blues and everything. You just think, oh, when will this end? But now that we have seen the light at the end of the tunnel, we are heading into February, which is great. With February comes that time of Valentine's Day, which you might not be a big, huge fan of. You might not celebrate it anyway if you are a couple, or some people might look at it and think, ugh. Like, just have really poor vibes about it, which if you do, that's absolutely fine. Valentine's is a bit of a funny one for me because, believe it or not, I've only ever had one Valentine, and that was when I was 10 years old. So yeah, we're doing good with the Valentines. Even when I've been like dating people, or I've been, you know, in a relationship, dating, seeing, whatever you want to call it, it's never got to that point of getting over to Valentine's to be able to celebrate it. And I know it's one of those things anyway where it's just another day, it's just, you know, for commercial sake, it's nothing to really have to feel down about, but a lot of people, including myself, have got down about it previously. I think I'm going to go for Glossy, which is this shade here, and start working that into my crease. Valentine's is a bit of a funny one. For the sake of commercialism, when you're trying to promote another thing, it's another money-making scheme and all that malarkey, but some people get really downhearted by Valentine's Day, and I used to be one of those people. I always used to think that on a Valentine's Day I'd get like a Valentine's card in the post, like I'd have a secret admirer, and it's never actually really happened. It's one of those, really, I think you see it in films and that, and people promote it excessively, and you get to that point where you just think, should something be happening for me at the moment? But it really doesn't matter at all. You don't have to be coupled up with somebody in order to celebrate it. You can just celebrate with your friends, you can just celebrate it by yourself. You don't have to celebrate it at all. My next shade, I'm going to go in with Meringue, that one, this one down here, and then just put that more into the crease, just get a bit more colour going on. So my only ever Valentine's, like I said, was when I was 10 years old. Never really expected to get a boyfriend at 10 years old, and there was this boy that would just always used to chase me around the playground all the time, and I used to find it so annoying. So it was one of those scenarios where it's like, oh, they like you if they're chasing you around, but at the time, me being 10 years old and not really knowing about that kind of stuff, I was just like, this boy is annoying the hell out of me, I just wish he'd go away. And then one day one of his friends came up to me and said, would you go out with him? And there's me being me like, what? Like, sorry, what? Where did that come from? And then in the end she kept asking me, and I just thought, oh, I don't know. I should have known back then. The guy has to be the one to ask you. If he asked through a friend, not the one. Should have known it back then. I ended up saying yes in the end. I can't remember if it was around Valentine's Day or it was a bit before. I can't remember, but one of our friends in our year, she'd organised like a Valentine's party disco, and I actually got, and it was probably one of the sweetest presents and gifts that I think I've ever got from anybody. I still remember to this day what he got me, but he got me like a little fake pink flower. He got me a bear, like a purple bear. I named it Valentine, which is suitable for Valentine's Day. I got some chocolates, and he made his own cards, like This literally, even just thinking back to it now, melts my heart. I wish I did keep it. I haven't kept it. I don't tend to keep things that people used to get me that I was in like previous relationships with, 10 years old. It was so sweet. So he drew this heart in the middle of the card, and then the heart was split in half, so half side of it was me and half side of it was him. And then I opened up the card, and then it says, "To Sophie, my fairy princess," and there was me like floating in this like rainbow kind of big dressing gown kind of thing. It reminds me of Joseph and the Technicolor Dreamcoat looking back on it. But it was just so sweet, like, to have that. Romance can happen at any age, and it was just a really sweet thing. Like, I absolutely love that. And it's one of the nicer memories of Valentine's Day that I really had. I think I'm going to go in with Goji Berry now, just a bit more in the crease, just to smooth it up a bit. So yeah, that was my first and only ever really Valentine's Day. But the next Valentine's Day that I was with this boy, oh dear, it gets a bit sour now. There was a time when he was supposed to come round to my front door and exchange presents and whatnot. I had everything ready for him, laid out on my table. I got all dressed up. So at the time for me, getting dressed up was having my hair in bunches. I wore this pretty little top that was a bit like a Juliet-esque kind of thing, just because it had these like really floaty sleeves. And I was really excited for him to come over. I was waiting. I don't think we clarified a time or anything. It was just, you know, whenever he could make it, pretty much. There I was, just waiting, and he never showed up. He never showed up. That git. Absolute git. Even though I had everything ready and I was really looking forward to seeing him, I was a bit gutted. But bless my parents at the time, to make up for it, they got me a McDonald's, and I was into Bratz dolls at the time, so they bought me a Valentine's themed limited edition Bratz doll, and that made everything better. Oh dear, the things you go through when you're younger. When I confronted it with him the week after, he had the best excuse. He forgot. I know. But we still ended up dating, whatever you want to call it that age. I don't even know. But this was like, we didn't even hold hands, we didn't kiss, we didn't hug, we didn't do any of that because I was just too scared to. I just wasn't for me at that age. And I think this ended up going on for about, I want to say 2 years, maybe in my first year, second year of secondary school it stopped. That's the only Valentine's I've ever had, but it's just funny looking back on it. For my eyelid, I think I'm going to go for Souffle down here. That looks like quite a nice pretty colour there. I probably am going to go a bit stronger in the eyes, but I just want to set it up first and then we'll see what it's like as soon as we're done. So yeah, in terms of Valentine's Day, have I always been a lover of it? Is it something that I think is a really nice thing to do, or do I think it's just a commercial way of selling more cards and getting more money for it, pretty much? Is it a positive or is it a negative? To be honest, it's each to their own, really. When I was younger, I used to think that having that person for Valentine's Day was like what you needed. As you get older, you realise that that stuff doesn't really happen. I mean, I've got friends in relationships that have been with him for a few years or so, and they don't really celebrate it. They don't really see the point in it. It's just another day, pretty much. They spend more of their time focusing on their anniversaries than what they do their Valentines. But yeah, I've kind of got to the point now where it's just a day, it's just another day, it's not anything to worry about. You're either with somebody or you're not. And if it's something that you do want to celebrate and you haven't got anybody to celebrate it with, you can always go and celebrate it with your friends, you know, your friends that are single, even that aren't single, you know, get them a little present or arrange a phone call or something, or you could just celebrate it with yourself, you know, give yourself some self-love, go watch some of your favourite films, do some baking and make yourself some sweet treats, anything like that. You're not limited to it. Like, if you're somebody that does want to celebrate it, then by all means go for it, but you know, it's not a be all end all. If you're not with somebody, it really doesn't matter. I am going to go in with Eton Mess now, just in the crease, just to see a bit more of what we can get, but I quite like these colours all together. See, there's me being like, oh, I don't like pink, but I think for some reason it works for me. In a sense, it just works. So in terms of relationships, dating, have I had many? What's going on with that front? So no, I haven't dated many people. I say dated, whatever you want to call it, dated, relationship, I don't even know what it's called anymore. Seeing people, I hate that term, seeing people. Ugh. No. In terms of having a relationship / dating one person, I've had probably about, I want to say 3 or 4. 2 of them were actually relationships because I'd actually been properly asked out, whereas the other two were a bit more just dating and getting to know that person. And each of them only really lasted for at the most a few months. Never had a long-term relationship or serious relationship. It's just something that's never built up to that, and that's absolutely fine. I used to think ages ago that was a really big problem. You know, the older I was getting, I have dated a lot of people, you know, been on a lot of first dates and whatnot, like to the point where I've lost count of how many that's been, which sounds bad, but the more I got older and the fact that it wasn't really happening for me, I thought, oh gosh, like, you know, what's wrong with me? I started questioning myself and being just really hard on myself, thinking that there must be qualities about me that I should change. Maybe it's my looks, maybe I should look more like this person or whatnot. I think one of the hurtful things in dating is that when you stop dating somebody that, you know, you really liked, and then for some reason, like on their end, it just doesn't really work, and then they go and date somebody else like pretty quickly. I think that's probably one of the worst things about dating, because then you think, well, what's this person got that I've got? And you just start comparing, and it becomes a bit too toxic and just like, well, I think I'm going to go in with a bit of acai berry. Is that how you pronounce it? That one there, just to put it in my crease a bit, just to deepen it up. I mean, nowadays I'm probably the happiest I've ever been in terms of loving myself and just being really happy and content with just being by myself. I think it's really important to have that kind of relationship with yourself, purely because you're the person, you yourself, that picks yourself up. When you get horrible things happen in regards to dating or any aspect of stuff, you're the person, I mean, you're the only person really that can pick yourself up. Like you have people that love and care about you, like your friends and family that, you know, want to help in that, but ultimately it comes from you in order to do that. So that's something that I've really learned and I really appreciate about myself now. All the things that I've been through that have really made me feel low and down about myself, you know, and especially in dating, because that's one of the things that really has affected me each time I've dated somebody and it hasn't worked, or things were becoming like a promising start for it and it wasn't happening, like I'd just be really hard on myself. But now this time it's more sort of, if it's meant to be with someone, it will happen. If you've got that connection with somebody, it will just continue. And I read an article actually the other day, and it was by Matthew Hussey. He's like a dating / confidence coach for women. His brother posted a blog the other day and it was really interesting. It was basically saying in regards to dating, it's all about the present. So not thinking too far ahead of things, you know, not thinking this needs to go somewhere. If it doesn't, then that's it kind of thing. You're kind of already putting that pressure on yourself before you even really started, and it's either going to go one of two ways. You're either going to find that you have a connection, it's going to keep going, or it's going to stop. In a sense, when it does stop, the earlier it does stop, the more time you can then put into finding somebody else. I've always loved going on first dates. I think it's one of the best things. There's no commitment or anything, you're just getting to know people. I've always found doing something fun on first dates is always great. Things like bowling or mini golf or things like that, just something where you can be like that little bit competitive and like that little bit touchy-feely, like that kind of thing. Like I've always loved first dates like that. I just think they are a really nice way of getting to know people. And in a sense, like having all these things happen to me in the first place has made me more making sure that I love myself completely and utterly inside and out, and I feel like I have got to that position. I'm just gonna go in with souffle again. Yeah, there are times when I look back on things or things happen, I get that like horrible pit in the stomach feeling, or like that sting, like remembering past relationships and things like that. But it just meant that it was real for me. It just meant that I got to be able to have that connection with somebody, and yeah, it lost, but it gives you that hope for the future that you can meet people. It's not a be all end all if things don't work out, and in the meantime it's all about just enjoying the single life, having that time for myself and not worrying about other people. I'm not on any dating apps, I'm not actively seeking people. I can't at the moment anyway if I wanted to, because we're in lockdown and you can't go and meet people anyway. But it's just nice in the meantime to know that there is always that option if you do want that option, but don't put too much pressure on yourself in order to find it. That shouldn't be what makes you happy or makes you feel loved or makes you feel like your whole self. You should be your whole self by yourself. Find that other person that's their whole self, and then you've just got two people that are just their whole selves that want to work together as a team to make each other happy and start an adventure together. I know that sounds like really cliche, but that's ideally for me what dating should be like, and what being in a relationship should be like. It shouldn't be for the sake of social media or because other people are doing it or anything like that. That's just how it should be for me. That's my personal feelings. And yeah, I've come to this place in my life where I feel a lot better about myself and I feel content with who I am. Yeah, there's bumps in the road sometimes where I do feel low and not this whole person I deserve to be, but that's just expected as life goes on. But in the meantime, just find that love for yourself, be around people that love you for who you are, and make it a life that you love on your own. And in the meantime, somebody does come along, great. If they don't, carry on as you are. Okay, so anything else I want to do? I want to put in a bit of whisk, actually. This looks like quite a nice highlighting shade. Let's get that in the inner corner. There we go. Nice highlighting shade going on. I'm all ready for Valentine's. Well, nearly, once I get my mascara on that one. Do we want to smoke it up? Yeah, why not? Let's smoke it up a bit. I think I just want to go for something not too potent, but potent enough. So I'm going to go in with glossy, just down here. Just smoke that on the bottom of it and try not to jab myself in the eye in the meantime. And there we go. That looks quite nice, actually. Yep, ow. Get me pickle. Yeah, that's quite nice, actually. I quite like that very much. This palette, definite 10 out of 10 for certain. The colours in this are just lush. They go on my eyes really well, really potent. So I think we just need eyeliner, mascara, a bit of lippy on the bottom, and I think we're pretty much done. If relationships and dating is something that you want me to do in another video in future, please let me know. I have done a video on being single, so I will link that below. That's a really good video to watch if you're somebody that finds it difficult being single and whatnot. So yeah, definitely give that a watch, and I will get to my questions up now. Okay, so these are like Valentine's themed questions / self-love / everything combined with that romantic side of stuff, just to make this video a bit more interesting. Okay, so first question. If Hollywood made a movie about a relationship, what would they call it and who would play the characters? What would it be called? That's quite an interesting question. I would say title, it would be Got There in the End. Sounds really bad, doesn't it? Got there in the end. Yeah, maybe something like that, Got There in the End, or, you know, something witty. It would be a rom-com, obviously. It wouldn't be something too full on. I used to do really soppy films, but now I can only take it in like little segments because I don't really do soppy stuff. Who would play the characters? Obviously me being the female lead. Who would be the male lead in the movie? I'd probably say Harry Styles, just purely because yes, I do have a crush on him, but he can sing, he seems really nice, he's been in previous films before, so I know that he's a really good actor, and yeah, just be a really nice rom-com. But then also behind the scenes we would be dating as well. Oh god, yeah, dream on, Sophie, yeah, right. That would probably be it. Got There in the End with Harry Styles and SophieLouiseHurkett. And we're done. What makes you feel loved? I think being around my family and friends makes me feel really loved. Just gonna go in with some eyeliner on my waterline now. Definitely being around family and friends I think is the most important thing, purely because they love who I am, I love them for who they am. You just end up having laughs, you cry together, you go through things with each other, and you know that they've always got your back kind of thing. You know that they're always going to be there for you regardless of what happens in future. I think that's probably what makes me feel most loved. And then when I do things for myself that I know that I enjoy, things that I know make me feel amazing, so things like exercise, once I've done a workout I feel like I love myself that extra bit more because I've pushed my body into doing something that's really difficult. And definitely the little things I think make me feel most loved. So sometimes I've come home before and my mum's put new sheets on my bed, or come home and I get made a cup of tea, or it's always just like the little things I think really make the big difference for me, because you know that that person's going out of their way just to do something that they know makes you happy. How do I show love? So probably mascara now. I probably do the little things as well, going all out for people's birthdays, or like putting thoughts into presents, being there for people, giving advice when I can, and just make people feel amazing, they're being thought of. I think that's probably the things that I do in order to show love. Also, you know, physical stuff in terms of hugs, and I'm a big hugger. I love hugs. I think they're the best thing. The quality I admire most in others is, I think, people who are passionate, people that have something that they're really passionate about and that they believe in and got it as their job, or they just do it as their hobby. I think that's really cool. Loyalty definitely is something that I admire most in people. Honesty, being communicative and not trying to be anybody else, not playing games, just being them and just loving themselves for who they are, that they'll just flaunt it all and they're just confident in that. That's probably the most important things I think that I value in people. I just think things like that just make them who they are, and they're not afraid to be themselves. They're just who they are because they love themselves, and I think that they're really good qualities to have. The quality I most admire in myself, waterproof mascara. No, that's not the quality. I just realised what I just did there. How giving a person I am. I think all the experiences, like despite all those bad experiences that could have made me go the other way and make me be a bit more hateful towards people and that, I think I just admire that I'm just a lovely person. Like, I'm not somebody that judges people. I'm not somebody that would go out of my way to make somebody feel uncomfortable. I'm just somebody that I like to go out of my way for people, to make them feel that they're being appreciated, that they're being made to feel like that they are a person. Just be somebody that is nice just because that's who I am. Like, I think that's a quality that I really admire about myself. I hope I make people feel something when they are around me. I hope I make people feel inspired when they're around me. I hope people can look at me and think, okay, if she can do this, then I can do this. If she's putting all this out there, then I can put all this out there. All the stuff that she does, that she believes in, like, that's inspiring to see. I hope people feel inspired by me. I really do. It's just going in with some lip liner and lip gloss for now, and then that's the look pretty much done. How do I define self-love? Doing acts of kindness for yourself because you truly deserve it. I wouldn't say it's necessarily just buying things for yourself all the time, even though that's great to do. It's not just doing like the whole, you know, bubble baths and, you know, self-care and all that. I think it's fully doing things for yourself, for you, just purely because you know that'll make you feel a lot better about things, a lot better about life. And if you can love yourself for who you are and put things into practice to love yourself for who you are, that's the main thing. And this is the Revolution lip gloss that I got in that big pack as well. Okay, so that's the look pretty much done. I love it. I think it's very Valentine's Day-y. Very Valentine's Day, Valentine's themed. I think it looks really nice. Yeah, we have achieved that look. So, are there any more questions that I can answer today? 5 things that you love about your body. So, this is an interesting one because this one I never used to love about my body. I absolutely used to hate it. That's my legs, my eyes, my hair, my skin, and my bum. There you go. Oh, 5 things you love about yourself that don't have to do with appearances. I'm kind, loyal, go out of my way to help people or do things for people regardless of everything, good listener, and good advice giver. How can you better love yourself and put things into practice? I think it's just still doing things that I love doing. So filming I haven't done for ages just because it's been a really hard month and it's been difficult to try and get back into the mood of it. But I think just keep putting things in practice that I do love doing. Practice more gratitude and appreciation for things in life. I do it as often as I can, but I think I need to do it more on a regular basis. Doing more of my crafty stuff, so like my scrapbooking, just taking more time out for myself, I think is really important. And I think just spending that quality time with myself that I deserve, the things that are important to me and make me feel happy, I think that's probably the best things I can do for myself. How would your perfect partner treat you? I don't want to say perfect partner because there's no such thing as perfect. There's just a human being that have qualities that you like. I think just the things about me that I know that I do for other people, I think I'd want reciprocated from my partner. I think it's important, especially important, to have really good communication. I think just having the qualities that I have and love about myself, I'd want for my partner as well. I think that's pretty much it really. Do you believe in true love? I do, but I think sometimes, I know when I was younger I used to think of it as love was just you love that person, you want to spend all your time with them, you love them so heartedly, like you go out on dates and you do things like that kind of thing, you start building a life and that. But I think that's just part of it. I think true love is when you go through hard experiences with people. It can hurt you and vice versa, but then it's about overcoming that and building upon those experiences to make you both stronger. I mean, I think for me that's more what true love is all about, is going through all the difficult experiences together and just remembering why you do love each other in the first place. Like, flaws and all, you just embrace all the habits and all the things that people do have about themselves that you think are really irritating. You think, oh, that drives me up the wall, but you just love them wholeheartedly. And I do believe in it, but I think it's more so when you've been with that person for a long time and you've built that thing with them. I think that's more of the true love that I believe in, rather than it just being like all the stuff on social media where you see all the hugs and, you know, hug holds and that. I think there's a bit more to it than just doing that. But yeah, I say I believe in it. Okay, and that's all the questions and everything to do with self-love, Valentine's, for this Valentine's themed video I think we've got. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. I sounded really posh when I said that, I don't know why. If you enjoyed this video, please give this a massive thumbs up. If you want me to do any kind of dating videos or advice videos or anything in that relationship side of things, then please let me know. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Take care, beautiful people. Have an amazing Valentine's. Take care.